Today I fucked up by hooking up with an insane girl. This happened last year when I was in high school and now I'm in college, but I recently realized it's Reddit worthy because of how wild and surreal it is. If you want the full experience, I recommend listening to the Shining's theme while reading it. Trigger warnings, animal abuse, and sexual assault. So I, 18, non-binary, met this girl, we'll call Sophie, 16, female, during recess. Right away, our first meeting was a little weird. She had sneaked out to smoke by crawling under the fence, then asked me for my number after saying I looked cool. All pretty random, and I saw her argue with a teacher, but I didn't think much of the situation at the time. The fact she was yelling at a teacher should have probably been a red flag in hindsight. We called that same day and just sort of talked, finding out we had a few common interests. The next day, I'd planned to hang out with some friends and asked her if she wanted to come with. She said yes, and we went to hang out with everyone. It was actually pretty fun. She even brought one of her dogs. As we're all hanging out, we start to play a question-based game, and I start to realize Sophie is odd to say the least. She admits to having stolen money from backpacks in school multiple times, and proudly announces that she shat on the school floor. I'm a little flabbergasted, mostly about the shitting part, but other than that, she seems really nice and fun to be around. Eventually, someone asked me a question, asked me who I would hook up with, those that are playing the game. I say Sophie, and she says she'd totally hook up with me as well. That night, we didn't actually do anything but kiss twice, but we both agreed to meet up at her place the next day. Her grandma drives up there. It's a little far because she lives in the countryside. Right away, she shows me around. She shows me her animals, her chickens. She has a lot of animals, which I love. Skip forward a few hours, and we eventually end up making out. It's worth mentioning that while I don't plan on getting any gender reaffirming surgeries, I'm pretty uncomfortable and dysphoric about being fully naked in front of anyone, especially if I don't know the person very well. Sophie knew this, and she still pressured me into taking off all my clothes. I tried to lightheartedly let her know I was uncomfortable, but she didn't take no for an answer. So we do our thing, and this is when I realized just how crazy this girl actually is. I haven't even had time to put my shirt on when she asks, "Do you love me?" Keep in mind, we know each other for 2 days. I try to brush off the question, but she insists. Eventually, I just tell her, "I can't love you because I don't know you." She evidently is upset by this, but eventually the conversation steers away from the L word. Once I've pissed and gotten dressed, she suddenly goes, "Want to see my mouse?" I know she has a lot of pets, so I excitedly tell her yes. Glad the situation is back to normal. She pulls out a jar with a dead mouse. At this point, I'm just shocked, especially since we just had sex 10 minutes ago. She then opens her mini fridge to show me a dead baby duck that she's kind of been keeping there. That's when I know I need to get the out of this house, and I text my mom begging her to come pick me up immediately. In the 30 minutes that my mom takes me to get there, I'm just playing with one of her cats. I'm not saying much. She brings up the love stuff, but I just don't reply. Skip forward a few months later, and we stay friends, but I keep my distance from her. While I'm on vacation, my friend, 17 male, texts me saying that there's been some drama involving Sophie. I asked about it, and he says it's best if we just tell me it when I got home. Basically, he tells me Sophie had some friends over at her house, and she actually assaulted one of the girls there in her sleep. She had also impulsively bought a rat, and since she left the cage open, one of her cats ate the rat. In response to this, she kicked the rat and then tried to break its neck with the door multiple times. But eventually, another girl there just grabbed the cat and let it out. The cat ran away. I haven't heard from her since. It's evident this girl had severe psychological issues, and while trauma isn't her fault, there's no denying she's a dangerous person. Turns out she's actually assaulted other people, so this girl wasn't her first victim.